Ladies and gentlemen, this is UX and this is How Did China Get Nukes? Get nukes? Got nukes. I don't know. Started with a documentary by the channel History Matters. Yeah. How did China get nukes? Such a comforting topic, right? Especially for an Indian. So I'm guessing, that there was, before that were few countries like USA and Russia had nukes. And then China was the first one, that is somebody else outside of this certain few people that acquired nukes. And then I guess other countries started to do that too, India, Pakistan, things like that. I don't know. Yeah, China was country number 5 to acquire. Who was I know it was like, USA, basically, Russia, USSR, whatever. Which other 2 country had it? France, UK, I don't know. I'm damn sure no, it can't be Germany, right after everything happened back then, but yeah. However, when it began this process, it was not exactly in a strong position to having just been damaged by a civil war, cut off by its closest ally and suffering economic ruin, which makes the fact that China acquired nuclear weapons all the more interesting. But how did China do it? How did China get nukes? To find out what's this short and simple document. Yeah, we saw the Ukraine one, like why did they give it up? And it made sense, since if your economy is not powerful enough, right? And basically you don't have that much money to maintain nuclear arsenal, right? You're probably going to give it up. But this is kind of opposite of that. China's economy was in ruin and yet they got the nukes, right? They acquired the nukes and somehow maintained it. So let's watch it. Remember, if you like my reaction, don't forget to subscribe so I know which type of videos to react to more. I've done many history matters video already. I guess I try to do that every day. So check out the link in the description. There you'll find it. I guess they'll find different playlists too for different type of videos. I do many different type of reactions, games, history, science, general topics, I guess. Yeah, let's watch it.
China was the 5th nation in history to become a nuclear power when it detonated an atomic weapon in 1964.
Look at the smiles.
Yet, given the fact that China hadn't fully industrialized yet, was internationally isolated, and its economy was on the verge of collapse, how did it manage to do it? How did China build a nuclear weapons program? So, as of the 1950s, China had just finished a long and brutal civil war which had been preceded by World War II. The civil war had seen Mao's communists victorious, with the defeated Chiang Kai-shek's government fleeing to Taiwan. When tensions between the mainland and Taiwan flared up in the mid-50s, the United States got involved, meaning Mao was stuck. To China's leadership, this meant that obtaining the bomb was the best way to avoid a humiliating repeat. And fortunately, Mao had a nuclear ally to the north, the USSR, which was happy to help China acquire nuclear weapons because China having them had little effect on the USSR. But it sure did make the lives of America and its allies in the region a lot harder, so off they went. Now, the USSR had tested its first weapon 5 years earlier than this, and so had a lot of expertise by this point. And the Soviet leader Nikita Khrushchev saw this expertise as something that he could leverage against China to keep it under control. You see, Khrushchev and the rest of the Soviet leadership were starting to...
I don't know, man, right? I mean, understand the USSR's point of view entirely, right? Like, it's Mao in power now. It's, someone who basically has our ideology is communist, right? So what better way to, I guess, stick it to the West, right? To make sure the American sweat is just to give nukes to China. Like, it's not just USSR, now to worry about China too, right? Another communist brother or something like that. So that kind of makes it, but still, giving nukes to somebody like Mao, that could backfire, right? I mean, you don't know which direction he's gonna go, right? From here on out.
To move away from that whole Stalinism bit of their history, and given that Mao was a fan, they saw a potential conflict on the horizon. And so what they did was make sure that Soviet scientists were in control of the project, and that without them China wouldn't be able to complete it. Which is why when Mao denounced Khrushchev as a lame fake communist who was too nice to the West, the Soviets withdrew from the program, taking both know-how and important components with them. This left the Chinese not knowing how to proceed safely. But Mao wasn't interested in safety.
Why I don't understand this. Again, I just said it, like, you don't know which direction he's going to go on. So this question, is basically stupid. But I don't understand why he would do that, right? I mean, the program is under development right now by the Russians. Now you're going to say to the Russian leader, right, USSR leader, whatever, that, oh, you suck. Stalin was much better. You suck. Somebody like Stalin should be in power. Do you really think he's not going to pull away from the program, right? You want this program. You need this program for a global respect. So if anything, you would keep your views to yourself, at least until you have the program, right? So why would you say all that while it's developing?
Mao was interested in proceeding. Now, it won't shock you to know that trying to fumble your way through building nuclear weapons using what the Soviets left behind and hoping for the best was not a great plan. And as a result, there were numerous setbacks. The deathy turns out this stuff is kind of dangerous style of setbacks. Eventually, the Chinese government accepted that you can't just demand that science be achieved, and it allowed the program more space. And within 5 years of this, the scientists involved had cracked it and China was ready to test its own bomb.
Damn.
Which it did in late 1964, much to the annoyance of the already existing Western nuclear powers who previously only had to worry about the Soviets. The Americans were particularly worried about another country building massive amounts of weapons that they'd have to match warhead for warhead, but the Chinese opted to not go down that route. Instead, the Chinese military pushed for a strategy of making any nuclear war with China cost too much, which is the strategy that China, as the world's 5th nuclear power, still uses to this day. I hope you enjoyed this episode and thank you for watching, with a special thanks to my patrons James Bizanet, Mr. Wolf, Kelly Moneymaker, Sky Chappelle, Jerry Lambdin, Jordan Longley, Adam Stalter, Cor Whopper, Gustav Tone, Spinning 3 Plates.
Nope, that's it. That was a pretty short one, just a 2.5 minute explainer, but I guess you don't need much to explain after that, I guess. Alright, damn, holy shit. I mean, I kind of see that coming, right? I mean, it's, if you're gonna give Mao nukes, it could backfire. It did immediately, right? USSR had to back away, but not early enough that China still could figure out what to do next, right? I mean, USSR basically gave them the start, and after that they just put the pieces together, which in itself is not a small thing, right? I mean, your economy is shit, you're not even industrialized, but whatever is left, you still figure out how to create nukes. Is kind of, I guess, the threatening thing, like you're gonna get killed if you don't do this. I mean, even if the scenario was okay, I'm gonna give you your space, like the video said, it's Mao in charge, right? Scientists know that, so that is always going to be threat. So I guess under pressure, right, when your life is on the line, any means necessary, I guess, was the thing, and apparently they somehow achieved. But clearly in the process, lots of people died, right? Because it wasn't a slow process, right? In USA basically got the nuclear weapons, and then USSR got the nuclear weapons. The process was probably somewhat slow and steady, right? I mean, compared to it. In this, they just basically, half-assed it. Like, whatever USSR left, let's just try to, make sure that we build nuke and fast. That's interesting. Alright, people, how did China get nukes? Basically, USSR gave some and then pulled away, and China figured it out, and there you go. China is also a nuclear power. This was by the channel History Matters. If you like my reaction, don't forget to subscribe. So on which type of videos to react to more. I love history videos. I started my reaction channel as a history reaction channel. So if you want me to react to any specific history video, definitely comment down from other channel too, not just this. But yeah, I guess I'll see you next time.